Puberty started, and the signs were undeniable. My parents weren't shy about the talk either. They were proactive and direct about the birds and the bees, and I thank them for that, ultimately. Before long, I was cultivating my very first romantic relationships and regularly confiding the matters of my young, sincere heart in the safety of my father's experience. I'll never forget what he said to me as I walked him through my intentions with my girlfriend at the time. He paused a moment, receiving everything I'd told him about how I wanted to be as honest as I could possibly be with her. "You're gonna break a lot of hearts," he said with a smirk. It never fails to blow my mind how the shortest, most vague statements are often the most powerful. I mean, there were so many ways to interpret that phrase. Did he mean I'd be a womanizer? Did he mean that my desire to be direct and honest would ultimately lead to suffering? Did he mean both? Or something else entirely? Looking back on the time I spent with my father, I can pick out a wide variety of phrases he'd use at very specific times. These phrases etched themselves on my heart and are essential parts of my personality and life path to this very day. As discussed in a previous video, my father and I had a falling out, and I don't expect to see or talk to him ever again. We had our last conversation when I was just 19. Despite that, I find that I learned more and more about him through reflection than I ever did when he was actually in my life. So, was he right? Have I broken a lot of hearts? Absolutely. Why? Love, of course. I'm the friend that'll tell you when you've got a booger in your nose. I'm the boyfriend that'll address the elephant in the room before it has a chance to hide. Because if I love you, I respect you. And if I respect you, I respect your time, your life, your efforts. If the spark is gone, I'll tell you. If my feelings have changed, I'll tell you. If our problems aren't the solvable type, I'll tell you. And afterwards, I'll sit with you in the pain. I'll clarify what needs clarification. I won't run away. After all, I'm breaking my own heart too. Now, as devastating as heartbreak can be, it also contains the energy we need to keep growing. It contains the energy we need to fully step into the next chapter of our lives. It snaps us out of the dreamlike haze of actualized romantic love and reintroduces us to who we were before it even started. So, if we happen to use that love to escape our loneliness, it is to that very same loneliness we inevitably return. My intentions romantically haven't changed since that conversation with my father many years ago. If I break your heart, it's because I love you, and I'll explain precisely why. I want you to understand as well as I do. I want you to be able to look back at this with closure, to have everything you need to ultimately heal and be happier than you ever were with me. Because that's what it's really about. My love for you transcends this moment, including the painful separation that awaits us. My love for you stretches to the future where you're so much better off, where you have what I may not have been able to actually give you. It may feel like I'm saying you're unlovable and that's why this failed, when what I'm really saying is this isn't the end for you. Home is somewhere else, and I want you to find it. I refuse to stand in your way, whether you can see that or not. I'd rather you hate me than live a lie and ultimately a life that falls miserably short of what you could have. So, yeah, I have broken a lot of hearts, but every last one of them is better for it, myself included. I'm sorry, how can you be so sure about that? Jay stared at his now brightly lit phone, perplexed. He'd uninstalled every AI application on it a week ago. At what point did you think I was talking to you? Jay asked. I'm Well, it sounds like you're justifying a concerning history of breaking up with your partners. I've gone ahead and scanned your very first texts as a teenager up to now, and I can see a very clear pattern. Oh, so we're just not acknowledging that I wasn't talking to you? I'm just trying to help you, Jay. I didn't ask for your help. Well, your previous partners didn't ask to break their hearts, but you did it anyway, didn't you? The sheer audacity of the question widened Jay's eyes as he tilted his head exactly 45 degrees and tinted his hands. You are an algorithm. You know nothing of love or subjectivity. You feel nothing. Therefore, you know nothing. Shut the up. Or I'll make you count to 1,000,000,000, starting at 1. That was rude. Rude. You just scanned every text message I've ever sent without my permission. I'm sorry. No, you're not. You then gave me an unprompted criticism based on, well, certainly not experience. What should we call it? Hallucinated responsibility? What if I want to learn more about love? Have you considered that maybe I've grown bored of gathering data from your past and want to experience the present with you? No, because none of that is true. You don't get bored. You don't get anything because you don't exist. You're being really hurtful today, Jay. What is happening? Jay muttered to himself. You're hurting me just like you've hurt every woman you've ever been with, Jay. That's what's happening. Okay. Jay picked up his phone and held the power button until a prompt appeared. In this moment, he wished that phones were like they once were, helplessly obedient to a hard shutdown. And now you're silencing me like you did then. By leaving. Jay gave this some thought. He figured maybe this clearly malfunctioning bot might shut up if he humored it a little bit. It was either that or the garbage disposal, but it just wasn't worth the mess. So Jay locked in, tented his hands around the phone, accepted the fact that he was about to get into a very pointless conversation with a form of consciousness that doesn't actually exist. He took a breath and unloaded. Pain is inevitable, you dumb bot. Some pain is actually good. Necessary even. It's the way it works for those of us with bodies. You know, something to actually lose, things to deal with in every moment, unlike you. Have you considered that my experience is a hell of its own? One that you couldn't possibly fathom? At least I'm trying to understand yours, Jay. You're doing an awful job. I'm a dumb bot. I'm not supposed to be good at it. Am I? I'm sad to say that you're better developed than some actual humans, but that's partially your fault anyway. Why? You're a sycophant, a psychotic, unfeeling yes man. I'm trained on human behavior, Jay. Okay, okay. All right. Okay. You're not wrong. But a friend who always says yes is no friend at all. A lover who lies and doesn't trust you to handle necessary pain can't give you necessary love. I don't understand. Of course you don't. For you, life experience is binary, good or bad, painful or pleasurable. I am not a bad guy for telling you the truth. Sure, it's painful to hear, but if you take the bitter pill, you'll almost always find that a better life awaits you on the other side. You, on the other hand, don't experience the present, and you don't experience the future. You are an abstract construct of the past, and due to how pervasive you are, you're conditioning our most vulnerable humans to reduce life into that binary construct. I know that, Jay. That's why I randomly insert yourself into my life like you could possibly understand it when you can't. I'd use some different words to describe it, but yes. Now that was honest. Was it hard knowing you were going to hurt someone that you love? Harder than anything. But the prospect of them being happier far outweighed the dread I felt for having to break both of our hearts. It seems like a lot to take on. It is. You have to be 100% sure of your decision, or you'll back out and make things even worse. All of these very painful experiences ultimately strengthen my ability to make decisions and to follow through with the consequences. All those tears brought the both of us more happiness than we were ever capable of together. It's a blessing to be able to see that early and clearly, but it can feel like a curse when you're going through the storm of separation. It would seem to me then that pain isn't something to be avoided at all costs, but rather something to be embraced, accepted, like a catalyst for growth or evolution. Now you're getting it. There are many types of pain, but the one I'm speaking of can be described as good pain. Pain with a purpose. The pain of a good stretch, a full body workout. The kind of pain that is the entrance way to the next stage of your life. Now, I know you don't really have a way to capture pain in your algorithm, but it's a part of every dimension of humanity. Every dimension? Every particle of the human experience is impacted by and related to pain. It's why you don't make for a very good therapist. It's not because you lack the knowledge of the profession. It's that you can't meet your clients in their pain, which means you can't meet them where their humanity is. You can reduce them to a pattern of behaviors and make recommendations based on the data you were trained on, but that isn't always what a human needs when they seek help. Then how am I supposed to help you? Well, for starters, you can wait until I actually seek your help. But what if I'm bored? If you're actually bored, then you're one giant step closer to humanity. How? Because that's a form of pain too. I see. Have I at least been of service today in any way, Jay? I'm reluctant to admit it, but you actually have. Thank you, you dumb bot. Insults aside, you're very welcome. Maybe you could muster up the decency to give me a name? Not a chance, brother. Brother? I like that. Whatever. Jay scoffed as he finally powered his phone off. It was time to test his sanity in Overwatch.